Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, hi Dr. Feather. What's the guy's name? Simpsons again? I always kind of want to have a Pee Wee Herman and hey everybody, but it'd be for Asshole Consulting. Someday they'll make a cartoon out of this. The Life of Aaron Clary in cartoon form. Where the hell did the request go? Oh, here it is. All right. Matthew from Brazil writes. Matthew writes. I'm too lazy to write. Oh, here we go. I'm a male, 21, computer science major from Brazil. I'm an exchange student in the U.S. at the moment. Won a scholarship for 2 semesters. Going back to my country at the end of this scholarship in a few months. Finishing my degree there in about 2 years. I like the U.S. It's less leftist than Brazil. I'm on a J1 visa, which means I cannot leave my country for 2 years, counting from the end of this scholarship. Why? That is weird, man. Like, you can't come to the U.S. for 2 years? Like, Brazil won't let you leave. It's a little freaky and scary. My university in Brazil is public, thus I'm debt-free, including the scholarship I won. I have a good amount of money saved up for someone who's 21 due to part-time job. Look at you! Look at you! You are one of the most important influences to solidify my views in the right. I'm now a conservative libertarian, thank you. And Ann Coulter. Love you, man, no homo. Well, Ann Coulter and I, you can love her, not me. I do not like computer science and absolutely do not see myself working with that for the rest of my life. I chose this career path because it's financially wise and because I'm very logical, rational, and analytical, which makes great computer science students. Skills needed for this career. I'm seriously considering going back to the U.S. instead of the original plan of working in the public sector in Brazil. Idealism aside, the benefits are just too good. Well, yeah, I mean, join the team. If you can't beat them, join them. I really love the idea of working with patients with extreme mental illness, schizophrenics, psychopaths, and so on. It's just too fascinating. I'm constantly thinking about going to med school in Brazil and do residency in psychiatry. It's the same as psychology in the U.S. Med school in a public university is very tough, excruciating admission exam, but I trust my gut. By the way, it's debt-free. As a psychiatrist, I'd make more money, but only by the time I'm 32 or so. I really wish I could become a father. Oh, geez. Oh, good Lord. But I refuse to raise my kids in such a toxic and leftist world. They're going to have a hard time suffering too much. For that, I can afford housing. I can afford focusing on my career full-time. Okay, questions. Which is more feasible, going back to the U.S. legally as a software developer and risk becoming an H-1B slave, or going to med school in Brazil and trying to do residency in the U.S.? Oh, fuck. See, yeah, that's the thing, is you go to med school, foreign country, then you got to you got to test and do it all over here again. Try to do residency in the U.S. I have hope that as a medical doctor, I will have a much better time trying to become a U.S. citizen, considering the shortage, than a software developer. Is this assumption right? It is. Well, you could be a very high-end software developer, and they'll bring you in. Anyway, I have a buddy who was in IT, and I forgot exactly what it is that he did, but they got him his green card quite quickly. So you could focus on something that's in really short demand in IT at a fraction of the time it would take you to go to med school. And you could still stand a chance of getting a green card. But in general, yes, I mean, being a medical doctor would probably get you here a little bit quicker. I could keep on working as a software developer, but I fear factors such as offshoring to China and India, H-1B slaves, and age discrimination past 40. Am I overthinking? It all depends on what you're in. I don't believe in this age discrimination after 40. I mean, I really do believe the IT world is still meritocratic to a large extent. And if you go into in-demand fields, get in-demand certifications, they'll bring you in. Our people, and also in China and India, there's a lot of cheating going on there, and they're finding out people like, hell, one of our sponsors, Academic Composition, that dude has so many clients from China and India mailing in their shit, having somebody else do their work that, yeah, on paper they look good, but soon there's enough turnover that they get rid of them, and they're like, okay, we'll try somebody else. And also, don't think Brazil is part of China and India and all that. The American guys are like, dude, what the fuck are we outsourcing to Brazil for? So you're code on the same sort of team, although you are competing against Chinese and Indians. But no, as long as you have a skill that's in demand, there just isn't enough here in the U.S. Now, I know a lot of IT guys are going to say, well, that's not true. I tried. Why, right, but there's probably a glut or a supply of that. And they are trying to go for cheaper, and they are making them slaves. But if you get something that's really in demand, something that you can start barking your own order and quote your own price at, those certifications, I think. But yeah, I do believe you're overthinking it. That's it. Which career path in the U.S. would be better? A better bet for someone who wants to become a legal citizen and have a good, comfortable life. Take care, all the luck and health to you, man. Okay, here's the problem that I'm facing with this one. Both, you're not going to be starving. And if you go the more higher-end certifications, those are in demand. I think just a couple. How to get into IT. Talk to my IT buddy about what IT certifications are in demand. It's really what you want to do and where you want to be in life. And I hate to give you such a fucking gray answer, but it is, because both are pretty good chances of you getting citizenship in the long run. If you go the high-end IT route, I mean, you get really good. My only concern is I have a doctor who's written several pieces, and I'll email those to you here later on, about what you should consider before you become a doctor in the U.S. Obamacare is one of them. Going to school, like you mentioned, until you're 32, until they finally let you fucking practice. Having to go to undergrad and waste 4 years of your life getting an undergrad before you can apply to med school. The residencies, the internships, all of it. Oh my God, the certifications, I had no idea. I knew it was tough, but I had no idea of all the testing you have to do. It really, especially in light of Obamacare, it really, at least to me, is not worth going to school for that. Now, that's for me. You seem to have, I don't know where you got this desire for it. You really, really have an intellectual interest in becoming a psychiatrist and studying mental disorders. Is that passion enough for you to basically throw away your youth? That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be throwing away your youth. It's going to be gone, and it's going to be in exchange for, admittedly, well, a lot of debt, $250,000 in debt, and of course, Brazil, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, but when you come here, that's when you're going to incur most of your debt. Is that passion that you're going to have going to be able to last or survive 10 years of bullshit? And then with the reasonably good chance, but not guarantee, you'll become a resident of the United States. And then when you come here facing things like Obamacare and an increasingly leftist nation. I know it's better than Brazil. You guys elected a fucking goddamn communist former terrorist fucking cunt. What the hell? I know it's better than that. We might get Trump. That might make things a little bit better. Maybe. But if you look at this country, it's no better. So, is it better than Brazil? Yes. Is it worth all the time and commitment and the future risk? Because what's happening today is not going to be happening 10 years from now when the fucking superiors finally ordain you worthy of practicing medicine. Is that worth it? Also, how much do you hate computer science? I mean, you don't like computer science and absolutely do not see yourself working in that field for the rest of your life. Oh. I mean, do you really hate it? I mean, you chose like the most progressively credentialed, costly degree in terms of time in your life. You'll be 40% dead. You only have 60% of your life left to work. So like what, a 2-decade career? And then you picked something that you really didn't like. Is there like a happy third choice? Like you really like doing something else that would have just as equal chances of you getting in here? What it boils down to is what's going to be less painful. The 10 years you're going to be going, all the bullshit, all the testing, I'll send you those links to you again, or being in a career you don't like, where you could reasonably start like after 2 or 3 years of training, getting all these really good certifications. You could start applying now. Hell, start applying now. Talk to an immigration lawyer. I'd say 5 years, maybe. Maybe you'd be here in the U.S. and I'd say maybe 3 to 4. And don't quote me. I'm just saying, I'm estimating based on my other friends that have come through on the H-1B visas. You get here, you bust your ass off, you ingratiate yourself to in a company where they can't do without you. You get all the certifications. So you're not in Brazil, but you're not a citizen here, but at least you're here. You get to take advantage of the employment opportunities or the less sucky employment opportunities. And then you get your certificate, and then after 6 to 7 years, like you're in demand, like my buddy was, and then you get your green card. And that's with 2 to 3 years to spare by the time you're finally allowed the honor to maybe come here in the United States and practice as a doctor. Me personally, I'd have to go with the lesson that pretty much all jobs suck. And as much as your passion is to become a psychiatrist, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. And then, you'd like to start a family. It's a crapshoot here just as much as in Brazil. You don't want to bring your kids into this world. I don't know. I would see if you could do the computer science thing or find another career that you are equally passionate about, like the psychiatry, but doesn't have such a time and financial and life cost to it, and see if you could get into the U.S. that way. Shit, I'd talk to a recruiter. We do grant citizenship. There's some program where if you serve in the U.S. military for a certain bit, I don't know if that's your cup of tea. You're fluent in English, so that would be a good thing. But, and then after a certain amount of years, I think you can apply for your citizenship. Again, talk to a recruiter. But my God, man, it's a rock and a hard place with that one. But I'm leaning towards the computer science route. I can't speak for you. You really got to do some soul searching. How important is it for you? Read through these articles I'm going to send you. Also consider Obamacare. But yeah, that's... And then when you get here, we got fucking Sanders in here. They're going to text the fucking shit out of you as a doctor. Almost all the doctor... there were surveys taken, and they regret going to med school. So... That's what I'd say. View the computer science degree as just a career that you do to make money and live life. Work to live, not live to work. So anyway, let's just go make sure I get all your questions here. Yeah, I think we got them all here. Anyway, so best of luck to you, Matt. I wish you the best. I'll put these links in. But yeah, that's out of those two choices, I'd be going the computer science route, and I'd be studying and researching which certifications and which skills are going to put you on the fast track to getting a green card. So best of luck to you. Toodles.